When we got on the plane from Paris to New York, we suddenly found the head of our delegation and some senior members were in the first-class cabin. And they were just seated when Walter Cronkite from the American television network, CBS, came in with a television crew from nowhere and started interviewing him, asking, how do you feel and what are you going to do and so on. Well, the plane was going to take off. You couldn't have him standing there all the time. And also, we were not prepared for a long, long interview. So he cut it short after some time and went to his seat. But on that evening's show in the United States, we saw our delegation because he had taken some shots of us on the airplane. One day when we were having a meal, we suddenly saw the kitchen door burst open and the photographer rush out from the door, started snapping around at us eating. And then he disappeared again, as quick as he came in. And also during the meetings, there were also photographers who would not only take pictures of the proceedings, but also of the members of our delegation who were not sitting on the floor, but there were only 6 seats there. So they were sitting in the balconies. I think that showed that there was much interest. One evening, we went out for a stroll. It was dark, and we thought probably we wouldn't get much attention, so we just were strolling down the street, looking at the sights on either side of it. And suddenly we ran into an elderly woman who had brown bags, grocery bags in both arms. And she stopped in her tracks and she said, "Oh, you must be the Chinese. Welcome to New York." And that did make us feel very good. That was, I think, a typical response from the ordinary citizen in the street. And I think that is the true feeling of the ordinary American people. That warmed our hearts. When the delegation arrived in New York and went for the first time to attend the conference hall is on the second floor. At the top of the elevator, not far from the top of the elevator, Mr. Bush was standing there, and he put out his hand to shake hands with the head of our delegation to welcome us to New York. So although he did his utmost, and I believe he was faithfully carrying out his government's orders, he tried his utmost to block us to getting our rightful seat in the United Nations. But after the resolution was passed, he also said that, I don't remember the exact words, but that the reality is that this resolution, it shows the reality of the world. And it shows what the people, or most countries, think.